Hello, everyone. I'm happy to have Padma Garu here. Padma Koppula ji, formerly known but lovingly uh, we call her Padma Garu, whose uh, name is synonymous with her work with the communities in Adilabad, in Zairabad, along with Aranya. Aranya is all agriculture alternatives and Aranya Permaculture Academy. So, welcome, Padma ji. And I have a question. Like, quickly, tell me, how did it all start for you?
Mm, it's like 1989. I happened to be in Jahirabad area. Then one of my friend invited to attend the Deccan Development's women's Dalit Women Jatara. There, like I was there for 3 days completely with rural women, Dalit women, and doing dancing, singing, like whatnot. Many things was done. That is the first time I was there in Deccan Development Society. I was so happy to be with the women all around and volunteered for all 3 days, helped them, the organization and organizing team. Then after I came back to Jahirabad, then K.S. Gopal asked me. Then he said, "Are you interested to work with Deccan Development Society?" So like I was shocked. Why he's asking? Because he told me that your volunteerism, your initiation, and mingling with women, and like everything we like it. If you are interested to associate with the Development Society, we are happy to be with part of the Development Society. Then since then I started working in DDS for 1889 to 2001 June. I was there for different levels. I worked with I started my career with the preschool children and non-formal education, then nutrition aspect, and then food production with the permaculture systems. Like that I started step by step, in a year's time I learned everything. Like I started giving the training to the teachers, women members, like organizing the groups, like so many roles I played there. Really, I learned so many things there. It's also a practical experience. At the same time, when the problem is there, how we can bring the solutions to the community within that, and then from the outside, how we can mobilize the resources. There, I learned how to support the community to come out the problems. Then it is such a great experience. And then after the preschool children, like working with the Dr. Venkat and Narsana for the permaculture way, with the food production for the preschool children, because every month they used to buy the food from different places. That's the money need to be spent and buying from outside. Instead of that, why can't we produce the kitchen food for themselves? So kitchen gardens started with the kitchen gardens. Then mothers committee was formed, like 30 to 40 children. How we can provide food within the same village, how it can be self-sustenance. All the mothers used to work on the farm, the piece of land which was given to the community. And then whatever the food has been produced, it is like a 60 to 70% of food has been produced from the same land by volunteering of mothers work, and the same food was used to feed to the children. And then so many things, each mother used to contribute a twistful of rice to the rice and the grains. That time is the rice is a precious. Only we sorghum, like yellow sorghum and white sorghum, whatever the season comes, whatever the grains which they have, which they grown from their own farmlands, they used to contribute. The one is their own contribution. Second one is the food produced in the permaculture farm, their own farms, worked in mothers committee. That is the food has been fed to them. Like that, my career started for 11 years.
I hear that you could create like a local loop for the community in the true sense, in the sense that whatever food the children are eating is being produced by
Yes.
the mothers itself. That's a beautiful example. Right now, we are struggling a lot of trying to bring kitchen gardens to the schools. I see a lot of schools in Delhi, NCR at least. They know they're trying. I really wish that they are able to create some production for their own school and work. Now, when you mentioned the permaculture gardens at that time, how was, because these families predominantly, I trust, would be from farming background only at
Yes, all
DDS.
Dalit women. Yes.
So when you are talking of permaculture to them, how was your experience with them?
It's like permaculture principles and ethics are so elaborative, but all the things, all the principles we cannot incorporate. There are like if you see their farming practices itself, most of them is the nature oriented. Like diversity is the one of the key which I could find out in their cropping systems,
Hmm.
and then whatever the crops like uncultivated weeds from the same farmland, and then like along with the like introduction some of the like a concept was introduced, like a
Hmm.
green manure trees was introduced along the farm, and some of the fruit trees were incorporated. Those things were the permaculture interventions. And then application of farm yard manure, so mulching, these a few concept was introduced at that time, but it is like excellently it worked.
It
And
worked.
already they are into loop of growing. Like by the time they are not fully chemicalized, they don't
Okay.
apply even they don't apply in the dry lands chemical fertilizers or pesticide in
Mhm.
1989 90s. That
Okay.
time when you speak about everything, like they accepted very well. That is a practice
Uh,
continued in their entire that farming systems itself. Slowly in 90s, 1992, that time like cotton was introduced by the other state people, and then like there is a big like movement was taken up. No, cotton was should not be grown in this area because
mhm.
it's like it will kill our diversity and other things. Then in the 90s, it was introduced. Now it is in 2024. I could see 90% of the food crops in the drylands are the cotton now.
And now
So
once it becomes cotton, then it's very difficult to go back
come
to
back.
food crop because the compaction is too much in the cotton,
Unlike
right?
money, they are into the money oriented. They can invest
Uh,
more money, they can get more money, they can build, they can ride the motorcycles, they can like money, like they can everything is money oriented. Okay, that is that
that's.
like it is not like that entire only Balwadis which I worked, and also
Mhm.
the time like wherever the wastelands are there in the within the village, doing some plantation there, agroecological practices like biomass plantation, fruit trees, or medicinal plantations. So there's a community interaction is there with the government lands. So all the women they used to go and plant the trees, and then they used to protect. That is the system was incorporated wherever the wastelands are there. So wastelands are it's like wastelands turned into the productive systems. I can give one
Mhm.
example where I worked in one of the place in Sangapur village where Nasana and me are the working in that area. So the
Mhm.
18.5 acres of the government hillock area is there. So that land was a barren land. It turned into the water harvesting and then production systems like all the local grasses and the vegetables on the bunds and trenches, and then all biomass plants and timber trees on the hillock area. So it was like a 40 women. Every day, two women used to go there and protect it. And then
Mhm.
with the two sticks of gajal name bells, with the bells.
Mhm.
Today my duty is over, and tomorrow my two sticks need to be handed over to another two women. Like that,
Mhm.
so it's like 40 women every 20 days. Two women has to work for that social cause. And then while they are going back, Nasan always says one thing, no, without when you come to a place, you should have a like something need to be collected to your home. Then only you feel happy, you will be
Mhm.
interested. That's where all the grasses they can cut and carry, and whatever
Mhm.
the vegetables are there, they can harvest some portion of it. Like
Mhm.
that, people are interested to take the grass and vegetables and firewood from the place. Like that, it's a rotation basis has come, and after that, the government banker has come forward and provided the, because they are the landless women, they don't have the fodder security. So this
Mm-hmm.
is the space was shown to them. This is the fodder security available in the common land. So they came forward and provided loan to buy the buffaloes, and then uh,
Mm.
a milk collection center was established, and then like income flow was started. And then Dwakra group, self-help group movement was there, and women started saving of the self-help groups and linkages of financial institutions. Like a government bank has given some extent. Slowly, if they want more loan, and the self-help groups was linked to the financial institutions, banks, so that credit access is there. One is the resources access, another one is the finance access. So access and control should be done by the woman. When you are talking about the gender, always women are the deprived with the many of the resources. When
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
in this process, like through the self-help movement, they started saving, they got access to the bank. So okay, they have a money, they can make the decision. The second
Mm-hmm.
version is they have a milk, they can sell the milk, so the income is there. So the third one is milk collection center. It means like you have a credit access, and you can make the decision. You can do what you want, you can send to the children, you can build the assets, you can buy the gold. Like so many things were changed within a few years of time. So that's where we could see a lot of things was happened with the nature based livelihoods. Like we cannot imagine just a group working, self-help group, saving of the 2 rupees, no use, no use, I don't say no use, but once when it will be used is once you link up to the natural resource, so their income or anything will be enhanced. So just simple, that 18 acres of the wasteland turn into the grassland, so turn into the livelihoods improvement of the 40 women. So access to the resources, and then their status in the living status in the home has been changed. So this is what always I believe in, when livelihoods get sustained is you should have the nature resource based livelihoods, then it can sustain. Like always, it should be produce, it should be productive, always should come, it should produce something. The cycle should continue for longer time, your income also continues for the longer time.
It's like many principles of permaculture now I see at work here, produce some yield patterns, and also, but this is beautiful because it's like planting a seed. It's like working with the land is like growing something, and then it has a potential to grow into something much more powerful and resilient. And the entire loop of just by being able to cut the grass, and then the livelihood and prosperity, and also empowerment of these set of women in various ways, more than one way. This is a beautiful example. Actually, thanks for sharing this story to us. Today morning, we were talking about creating local closed loop systems in another call. So this is going to be very. My question to you next will be about the learning spaces. How we, what do you think of the status of learning in the communities today with whom you are interacting? What have been your interactions and interventions, and why it is critical if it is?
Now like that time need is different, Manas. So
Mm-hmm.
30 years back, women's needs are different, women empowerment strategies are different.
Mm-hmm.
Now all the things has been turned into the mainstream. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like alternative PDS system is providing food security for them with a subsidized price, and there is an employment scheme is there to work in the non-linear PD, non-working
Mm-hmm.
days, non-seasonal days. and then there is a pension scheme is available. There is a like if you get married, there is a local government is state government is providing some fund. They don't need to go for
Mm-hmm.
the credits, and also children like hospital services are improved. Like that, if you compare with the 20 to 30 years, now the status of the families is like excellent. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, so another thing is also happening. Not people are like younger generation, they're not interested to work in the natural resources because you have to
Mm-hmm.
work hard to get whatever the things you needed.
Mm-hmm.
So very few people, selected people, they know like once upon they are the labor. Now they got access to the land. Now they are the good farmers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
30 years back, no land access. Now they
Mm-hmm.
got the land access. They could able to experience of the farming, like farming of not the generic farming. It's like perennial orchards, integration of different crops. These
Mm-hmm.
experiences make them to continue for the few people are continuing in the their livelihoods with the nature. But
Mm-hmm.
more skills was education and more skills, and people started moving out from the village. They are
Mm-hmm.
like employees. So there is a so many companies are there, so much of demand for the Hyderabad, like
Mm-hmm.
what is that uh, Swiggy, Jamata, these things. Just you don't need to work so much. Like if you should know how to ride the bike,
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
you can go and pick up, and like you are able to access good amount of money. But
Swiggy, Zomato. Okay, right. Yeah.
okay, but at the same time, if the farming, the kind of risk they want to take, they are not interested to take that kind of risk. So the
Mm-hmm.
generation like really need to think about. So like those who can move out from the village, they are not coming back. uh,
Mm-hmm.
like still there are some people wanted to connect and continue their livelihoods in the different way, like nature
Mm-hmm.
resource based, like
Okay.
everything. Like olden days, it is the farming systems are like this. They have a animal, they have a goat, they have a crops, they have a vegetable production, everything is intact within the home. Now if you want to have a dairy, like exclusive dairy. If you want to have a goat, exclusive goat rearing. If you want to do
Mm-hmm.
the farming, perennial orchards with the commercial crops like sugarcane, turmeric, like that, like more
Mm-hmm.
income generated crops. Because now the food security are being met from the government through the PDS. Now they wanted to have more money, so that like if you go for the any of the millets or sorghum, major millets or minor millets, whatever the millets is maybe. Now whoever has been growing, because the number of people growing food production has been reduced, so that
Mm-hmm.
food availability not only for the humans, for the
Mm-hmm.
birds, for the animals, for everything, it has been reduced. It means like those who are growing the food, they are like they're in the threat. It means the food is there, all the animals, all the birds are going there only. So those who are growing, the farmer is not able to get anything out of it. It is
Mm-hmm.
also a community initiation, like all the farmers in the village should grow like a previous, like as seasonal crops. Then the food is available for everyone, all the birds and animals and humans.
Yeah.
If you
Mm-hmm.
grow one person, no, you don't get
Mm-hmm.
anything out of it. This is a
Yeah.
conflict between the like ecological wild animals and birds and humans. Like how we are going to solve this problem in the challenge for
Mm-hmm.
us. Like one side, wild boars are there, deers are there, and then birds are there. This is what like people are not interested to grow for the food crops.
They're not interested to grow the food crops because of the cycle is the ecosystem is broken now.
Yes.
The balancing of everybody working together, sharing the food.
Hmm.
It's like a colossal collapse of the house of cards. It's like
Yes.
falling off. So what kind of a role you see education about this can play, or permaculture education can play in this?
So this one, like whatever the like which they are seeing right now,
Uh-huh.
like they should experience, one generation should get experience. Now they are into some like a way, because those who are living in the cities coming back with the sickness, and they have to spend a lot of money to
Mhm.
sustain, or it has to be died. And the second version is alcohol. I can see most of the youth are met in the accidents and dying, and single woman families are there. So there is a one side we are saying about the awareness, education, and other things, but the kind of awareness is becoming too much. But that is a big, because of the weakness of the alcohol, it is also killing after many people. I don't know.
Mm.
This is another thing. Like once upon a time, we are struggling for the food security. Now that time is the maybe health issues, maybe the starving. That is the problem. Now this is after 30 years. If I could see most of the youth, they either they want to go for the driving activities, or
Mhm.
any of the Airtel SIM, Airtel or any of the SIM, or go to the company, or go to other company, any of the company which they can go work sometime, go by bike and come back by every month. They have to get some fixed income like 10,000 or 5,000.
Mhm.
So they are living like employees. Like
Okay.
I could see many things in the change of, like birthday parties, like even the I feel like once income rotation is increased, every children has having a birthday, the expenditure which they are spending, and every person in the home they have a mobile,
Mhm.
and every person in the home, or like in the home, somebody has to pay for the this one entertainment channel. So this is the kind of income which they are spending on more maintenance, not to the asset building, not in the food, not on the
Mm.
food. This is what a rural economy is going out.
I
This is
want
the
to know
challenge
about
also.
your intervention. Any of the interventions you can share about from Aranya,
Yes.
either the alternative econom or from the permaculture academy. How
So
what?
that's what permaculture, like our intervention, like they have a lands, they don't have the water resources in that, like dry lands, how Aranya has been supported. Um, like for example, in again I can take the example of the Bidakanna village. There's 150 women are there. Each of the women has a, there's a so much of land is available given by the government. Um, it's a dry land. It is also degraded land. Though in that land, how that lands can be a productive. So the 1 acre of the land, they have like so much of discussions was happened, and they came to Aranya. Like always, they will be passionate to see Aranya farm, because always something will be, food production will be there, and whoever works, they used to carry that, they could see in the village also. So once, like several meetings was done in Aranya permaculture farm, then they said they wanted to farm like that, but they don't have the water resources, because you have like when the water is there, we could do many things. I said without water also we can do, like this is the example of Aranya farm. Until
Mhm.
2014 we don't have any water, even though this could able to sustain. So similarly, the each one of the 1 acre of the land, they designed the participatory approach, saying that they want income, but they don't want income also, they want food. If it is a
Mhm.
same kind of one production is there, it will go to the market. At the same
Yes.
time, we wanted to have a diversity, like mangoes are the good income. At the same time, we don't want one variety of mango, so we
Mhm.
wanted to bring the diversity within the mango orchard. So that's
Mhm.
why they chose total 1 acre. They decided for the 40 fruit plants, out of which 10 are the one variety of the fruit, which is the benishan, that is for the marketing, because they also need income. So another 10, so they have chosen, each of them is the two varieties of mango.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
like juicy variety, cut variety, like mallika, like there's a chinna rasalu, pedda rasalu, pickle variety. There's a
Mm-hmm.
like a different varieties they chosen. So it is around 50% of the mango plantation along with the moringa is a integration.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Another 20 plants, each of the fruit variety, they have chosen two, like a
Mm-hmm.
two lemon, two guava, two pomegranate, two custard apple,
Mm-hmm.
two chiku, like that. So another 10 varieties of fruit, each two, they have decided and they planted. So
Mm-hmm.
this is the 40 plants. Along with that, again, they have gone with the moringa. Moringa is the one of the integration of in the food forest. So moringa is
Mm-hmm.
like it can be used as a leaf. They used to dry and sell to the FPO. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so this is all. There's no water in the same lands. Like if very few people they have a
Mm-hmm.
community bore wells which they can share water. I think most of
Mm-hmm.
them they don't have the water resource. So
Mm-hmm.
what Aranya has done is like a first 2 years when there is no rainy season, each one of the farm was established one of the like a small water tank, not water tank with the cemented rings. They put a
Mm-hmm.
tank to store the
Yeah.
water.
Mm-hmm.
So, few months in a year, water was supplied to the farmland in the tank. So,
Mm-hmm.
farmer has to provide the irrigation to provide life saving irrigation to the plants.
To the
So,
fruit trees.
like that, it's like 2 years of the time life saving irrigation was provided for the fruit plants. Now
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the seventh year. It's in 18 sixth year of the plantation. I think most of them they were so happy.
Yeah. In
Most of them they
22,
was.
yeah, 22 when I visited last, we could go and see the this
Yes.
water system at work, and yeah, of course, those plants looked
It's
at that
like
too.
water harvesting, pit digging, and plantation, and manuring, and biochar, integration of moringa. So now they started able to sell the mangoes and consume some extent mangoes also, guava, other fruits, and then moringa leaf. They are some summer season they dry and they'll sell to the FPO. When the
Mm-hmm.
parts are excess, also they'll bring to the FPO. So whoever wants, they have an outlet now. Whatever the food has been produced and also integrated with the rosella, Jamaican rosella. So
Uh-huh.
Jamaican rosella also they plant in along with the orchard. The seed was procured by the APO. The flower petals was procured by the APO. So
Mm-hmm.
APO is the marketing point of for them. And then these people are the producers. These 150 farmers, definitely I can say, not using of any of the chemical fertilizers and other things. And those who are having water resources, they integrated turmeric, they integrated ginger, and then
Mm-hmm.
some PGMP for their own consumption. So how we can bring the diversity within the 1 acre system? So with the rosella, they will get some income, and with
Mm-hmm.
the moringa leaf, they'll get in some income. Selling of the mangoes, they have income, and apart from the consumption.
So this,
So
this this looks like a big journey to me of these 150 women with Aranya from the
Now
beginning to
150 to 1000 women is turned into the 150 women started with this. Now it's around 1000 women are enrolled into the same FPO, doing like
wow.
different activities and different passions. Like the cotton farmers came forward. We wanted to follow some of the permaculture principles. Then they started working on biochar, the cotton
Mm-hmm.
crop residue. They turned into the
Mm-hmm.
biochar, charged it, applied to the croplands. Even the like last year, the pulses price is like a 10,000 rupees per quintal. Okay, that is
Mm-hmm.
the in 35 years of their lifetime, they have not seen that much of price. So
Mm-hmm.
this year, the Aranya has provided seed for many of them, like green gram, black gram, PGMP, some vegetable seeds. So with the cotton crop, they integrated with the green gram. They integrated with the black gram. So they want money, they want to cotton. At the same time, So first few months they don't apply any of the chemical pesticides on that.
Mm-hmm.
So when the flowering and podding stage only they'll apply the chemical pesticides.
Mm-hmm.
Then they started intervening this, and they slowly they started shaping up of quarter acre or a half acre without chemicals. They
Mm-hmm.
want to do it and continue with that.
Mm-hmm. And
So
also bringing in the pulses helps with the nitrogen fixing and
yes, it's
yeah.
also like a diversity. One is the like whatever the crop residues are there, they are not turning into the waste. They are turning into the mixing in the soil, and
Mhm.
also like which is a more carbon. They are making a biochar, using into the soil application to fix the carbon and carbon sequestration. And there's a, like a carbon is a lacuna in many of the cropland, many of the farmlands. So
Mhm.
the fixing of the permanently with the biochar, it can stay for 100 to 1,000 years in the soil.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
keep on add some other menus to charge it, and it can continue for the longer time with the like generations together. So like some people were realized and they wanted to incorporate more and more, and also integration of livestock in their farmlands with the indigenous cows and buffaloes. And now they established one milk collection center by the because they started inviting Vijaya Dairy and other dairy centers. They are paying very less price to them, and they
Mhm.
also supplied for the other dairies. They have not paid in time money for them with the lesser price. All these experiences make them to realize within the community they decided one person can be the milk collector. So the person is collecting the milk, and he also sells milk within the village and outside the village. So that's like his life. He used to just do the farming. Now his
Mhm.
livelihood become a completely on the collection of milk and selling of milk and milk produce like ghee and paneer and other things also he sells it. And
Fantastic.
within the village, what happened is, so they used to get outside the milk from like milk packets from outside, like Reliance and other Vijaya Dairy milk packets.
Mhm.
I think 99% now stopped. The milk is available within the village. Even
Wonderful.
the sellers are like some of them are getting the milk from the cans, and they are doing with the olden system, like with the quarter liter, half
This is
liter, like that
wonderful.
low system.
This is like actually creating a local economy with milk here, and obviously. And what about I also like, while you are not saying it, but all this needs learning activities. It needs people to acquire new skills, and it's one step at a time. But it's like now become like a process. This is what I see. So what? How much time people like? Do they gather sometimes for meeting? How the community interaction works? Some of
It's
the.
like every month one meeting will happen with all the women members, and then
Mhm.
women leaders. There is another meeting will happen at Aranya. Women group meetings will happen at the within the village. Now they are in the stage of like 10 women are working on the processing of the produce, completely 10 women. Like it's also production is also one of the aspect of quality production.
Mhm.
Chemical free production is one aspect. Second aspect is how the processing will takes place. The processing, like when you're talking about the permaculture, how we can bring that indigenous traditional practices for the
Mhm.
healthier nutritional aspect. So here what the women are doing is, so any of the dals, like how to preserve, like preservation become a big problem in the cities
Mhm.
and the rural areas also, because there are some techniques. Olden days they used to make the
Mhm.
any of the pulses. They can keep a stock for a whole year. So
Mhm.
that is the like whatever the system which they used to follow in the olden days. Now they are using the same systems to make the dal, handmade dal, like for example, PJMP dal, which they are making. They
Mhm.
soak it. This like wait for activate it for the 4 hours or 5 hours, and then sun dry it, and then roast it with the
Mhm.
clay pot, and then making a dal. And then it like it is it's a like it creates a less gases when you consume the food. So
Mm-hmm.
this is what one system which they can follow, like green gram, black gram, without husk, how they can make, how they apply the turmeric and oil and salt to preserve it
Mm-hmm.
for the longer time. Once they make the dal, it can stay for 3 to 4 years without infestation. So that is
Wow.
like so things are there like which using the so same knowledge, and also the whatever the safflower which they are growing and collecting and make a processing of it using the same oil, and also jaggery. There are a few farmers growing sugarcane. I think two farmers are growing sugarcane. The sugarcane farmers will be provided the biochar and farmyard manure and tank silt to them. So
Mm-hmm.
they grow the sugarcane and provide to that sugarcane to for the FPO. FPO will make the jaggery. People make the jaggery and market it. So this is like a, not only the making process. 30 years back,
Mm-hmm.
if you could able to see, most of the people they used to consume the jaggery. Now
Mm-hmm.
the production is not available. Again, to bring back that reviving the traditional practice. At the same time, how we can uh, like the skill. Jaggery making is a skill. Jaggery making is a knowledge. So, which university is teaching of the jaggery making? No
Nobody.
university. This is something which is we feel like this knowledge should go continue with the many people, and that's what we are like. There are some older generation, there are younger generation. Together, they are doing it with the hands on. Around 10 people are doing of the jaggery making, and also why can't we make like easy to use? Like our intervention is they have a knowledge of how to make the jaggery blocks. Then we
Mm-hmm.
started research for the 1 or 2 years, and we started giving the some techniques. So now they started making the jaggery powder, because like a consumption should
Mm-hmm.
be like easy to consume. Like why people are opting sugar, it's like easy to, one spoon you can mix it and you can consume it
Mm-hmm.
very easily. So like when started making the jaggery, something like they felt very good, so people started using more and more. So that's why every year around 100 tons of sugar cane they convert into the jaggery, and jaggery powder they makes it.
Mm-hmm. So that's very interesting. Now, my question, I'm sticking to the learning part of it. Now, there is so much wisdom in what you shared about uh, preservation of food, about processing of food. But this is happening in the space of Aranya. This is happening with the women FPO. But there are thousands of such FPOs, and there are lakhs of such farmers out there, especially small farmers, who can collectively use this wisdom. What would be your approach to propagate
So
this
like
knowledge?
this one, like the first one is I feel like consumers, like a like who will buy it. Always it's a demand driven. So
Hmm.
demand should come from where? Demand should come from the consumers. So
Yes.
this APO is providing food for the some of the families, around 350 families they are
Hmm.
providing.
Hmm.
350 families, not only the 350 families, each of the person representing in the group will
Hmm.
also provide like they supply to their own family members. Like that, it's like reaching to around 700 families of these people's food. Like
Hmm.
it's also giving education to the consumers. They says like we give guarantee to you, like you keep a season, like around October November you'll get the green gram and black gram. If you
Hmm.
want fresh green gram tur dal, you wait until the February. If you want fresh one, until wait for March. Now consumers started knowing about which season are the production is coming. So what they started doing is they started also preserving for the whole year. So not
Hmm.
giving the orders for every month, 1 kilo, 1 kilo. No. So I started giving orders to the FPO. I want for the whole year.
Right,
So
right, right,
like
right.
that, like there's so much of demand was generated. Like whoever has been interested, like earlier only Bidakanya women group used to do. Now there are seven other villages women are there. each one of them, whatever the produce which they are growing, like there is a one village, they grow mustard and dhania. Uh, Dhania and mustard they grow.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
they clean it properly, and they'll clean it dhania and mustard and pack it and bring it to the APO. So some women green gum, they grow it, they process it, and this is how from Bidakanya to other villages was transferred the knowledge,
Mhm.
like maintenance of the standards of the cleanliness, hygiene,
Mhm.
and then destoning, everything process has been learned from one village to seven villages.
Fantastic. So these processes are now spreading from 1 to 7. Now from 7 to hopefully more people, villages. As the consumer gets educated, the demand goes up, then the processing goes up, and yeah, I see the point here. How is it? Do you think it's we can digitize some of this knowledge in terms of small talks, education modules, or demonstrations, so
Yes.
that under Aranya, and this then that can be shared with people across the. Because these exactly the same thing I see in
This is what
Rajasthan.
happening right now. Right now, this is what happening. So there is a one millet mahila has engaged a person. Whatever the process has been done by the FPO, like
Mhm.
each of the pulse, each of the grain, what are the process? Like for example, finger millet they want to eat.
Mhm.
Finger millets just they don't use directly. Finger
Mhm.
millets they'll wash it, and they then I wait for the until it germinates,
Uh-huh.
and then sun dry it, roast it, and make a powder. So
Uh-huh.
if you get from the market, you may get for the 50 rupees per kilo, but this
Uh-huh.
Sepuo will sell for the 85 rupees.
Because of the process it has gone through.
Ah,
Yeah.
so
Mm.
this is because like people will ask us like if you consume the porridge, finger millet porridge at Aranya, it is tasting good. When you buy from the outside, it is not giving that same taste. I said like a
Yeah,
process
it's
is
not only
important.
tasting good, it's also good for the health. Actually, that's bioavailability of the nutrition also kind of
Mm.
goes really high with that. I truly uh, trust that. So when this is documented, because for especially for finger millet, like a lot of people want to eat ragi and all, but they need to know that it has to be germinated or soaked for some time before making into a flour or dalia or it.
Yes.
So this information is very precious, but how do we take it out to people out there?
Now we are making the videos. Maybe through the videos it can reach out.
That will be fantastic. Would love to have these videos also linked on our website at Farmversities,
Sure,
and
sure,
also shared to the farmers of different places. This is what future looks like with us all creating this content for each other.
sure.
Fantastic. So we have had a long chat, and there is so much I can talk with you about so many things. Uh, but is there anything which you would like to add and I have not taken up?
So this is what I believe is in always like there is so much of knowledge is availability in the community, and then people just whatever the knowledge which you have, work with them, like facilitate
Mhm.
them, and you can get the best of the best. Always our like our business strategies, generally what we are doing is, if I want to establish business, I'm just doing it for myself. No, you have to work like I am, it's very interesting. And the people started, all the members from the FPO, they started consumption, like when the FPO started jaggery making, it's like the
Mhm.
sales will be around 100 kilos in the village, around 100 blocks in the village. Now
Mhm.
I can see
Mhm.
each of the person will come there, and one block is a free of cost because they are the members of it. Rest of them
Oh, lovely.
they'll buy for their relatives, for themselves, like that. The
That's great.
consumption has been increased. Like local demand, if you could able to meet, you don't need to send them out. That is what our intention is, not making and sending them out, selling them out. Like a
Absolutely.
local consumption, local people, even local consumption should, people should adopt that practice. That is
This
what
is,
our intention is. This is where Aranya is there, not making someone export someone or Delhi or Hyderabad or somewhere else.
you are making Gandhi's vision happen.
Definitely,
Yeah.
sure, it will happen. You can see, like, there is so people will come and ask, ask, come for the FPO and ask us, they know that all the millets are available, millet rices are available. They know that like if you buy from that FPO, that is the
Mhm.
best food. That is what they believe in.
And that's so believe true also, because it's visible right there, and it's a
Just
local
in front
system.
of their eyes, they are seeing what is the
Yeah,
thing which they need.
so many people I've seen them traveling to the FPO, to Aranya, and to come and see, buy this stuff. And
Many people, they'll come from exclusively for to buy the produce. They'll come by car and get it.
but the most beautiful part, as you said, is that the local consumption has gone up. And
Yes.
this is, in fact, I remember this one example from Raja Shankar's farm in Coimbatore near Polachi, where
Mhm.
the women are working in the coconut oil unit. And then at the end of the day, they're also taking their coconut and the oil along with them, so they're getting to use the product. And the people passing by on bicycle, walking, bringing their bottle to fill it with the coconut oil. So
Yes.
they,
Even now, many people, safflower oil, they'll come for the, if the newborn children are there, if there is any health problems are there, because it's like they feel that it's expensive. Okay.
Mhm.
Even though they'll come there, they'll take from that and they use it. Now those who are working closely involved with the Aranya,
Mhm.
especially they're not um, they're not questioning us what is the price of it,
Mhm.
because now they know each and every step of it. I know this costs much, but even though it's good for health.
That's the actual true cost of the food. What we are talking of, that's
Yes.
the true
As
cost.
the all the members will get for the actual production cost,
Yeah,
no profit for the FPO.
yeah.
Only if it is you going little bit of out, they have a margin of that. Like they feel like it's like it should be a self-sufficiency. It should run on its own, not that
Hmm.
not for the loss, not for the so much of greediness.
That's fair. That sounds very good. And still, and the people are getting the the fruit of their own labor, of their own land, of their community. And yeah, that's the love happening
Mhm.
there. Wonderful. So yeah, it's lovely speaking to you. Uh,
Thank you,
uh,
Manas.
and I now know why we are not able to get the safflower oil from you in Delhi, because all of it is getting consumed.
Safflower oil is a production is not a problem. I'll just give the example. The transportation, the logistics, it will not work
The
out for the because people should have a knowledge on how to send it, what container need to be used.
it's
All these things are
that's
there.
where the devil comes in. That's where the
You provide support to that, then I'll give the connection.
I'll do
Which
that. And
transport and what is the container and these things, because I don't know, like somebody has to go and search for the which container is good. Last year we sent with the tin dabbas that was broken with somewhere else.
I will
Like
ask you
that,
to. I'll now ask you to give me seeds so that we can start growing our safflower here.
sure, I'll send. That is best way.
That is the best way. Right.
Mm.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Padma.
Thank you, Manas. Bye.
Thank you.
All the
Thank you.
best. Thank you.